Jennifer Love Hewitt. But if you want to get some shots of your character walking down the street in a big city, specifically the Big Apple, you might come out here to New York Street. Now, I'm a born and raised California girl myself, but luckily for us, we do have a New York expert aboard the tram today. It's my co-host, Jimmy.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York. I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. Once got mugged over there by an old woman. Tough lady.
By the magic behind making movies, but I fell in love with zombie movies and monster movies as a young kid. My world that I come from is skateboarding and graffiti and comic books. You always have to pay homage to where that art form started, and for me it started with doing stuff in the street illegally, tagging billboards and dumpsters. And without that, I never would be here using spray paint like this.
Like I promised, we will be seeing where our monster movies are made, and we're actually passing by our first monster movie location off to the left of the tram. It's this murky little body of water that you see through the trees here. It's called the Hollywood Ocean. It's also known as Park Lake. It's been used in movies like The Blues Brothers, Psycho 2, but it's still probably most famous for being the Amazon River in The Creature from the Black Lagoon. Now, The Creature from the Black Lagoon was released back in 1954, which means it just celebrated its 70th anniversary. Now, The Creature is one of our beloved movie monsters, and we are now turning the corner into the place where our monster movies were made. Welcome, everyone, to Little Europe. Now, like the name suggests, Little Europe has been used for many of our monster movies. It has played Austria for Frankenstein, Wales for the Wolfman, it's played Transylvania for Dracula, and it's even played Egypt in the first adaptation of The Mummy. But we can transform these sets to look like many other locations, some even as fantastical as the afterlife in The Good Place.
You, Eleanor Shellstrom, are dead.
Cool.
This location, the afterlife, I've never ever seen this. You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here. I can't risk going to the bad place.
Maybe it's not all that bad.
How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
Now, off to the right of the tram, we're passing by our Court of Miracles. Our Court of Miracles was named for the Hunchback of Notre Dame, not the Disney version, the Universal silent film. But Disney has used our Court of Miracles as the setting of the Tortuga Tavern in Pirates of the Caribbean 2, Dead Man's Chest. But of course, Little Europe is best known for being the home of our classic Universal movie monsters. The very first monster to call these streets home was Dracula back in 1931. Now, back then we were trying to secure our own niche in the film industry, make a name for ourselves, so we wanted to try something that no one had done before, and that was dipping our toe into the world of horror. Now, horror movies had never been made before Dracula, and that's why it was a little bit of a risky investment for our studio to make. Studio executives were not sure if audiences were going to like scary films, and they were not sure if they were going to like supernatural or paranormal elements, because Dracula was one of the very first movies to include extensive paranormal theming as well. Fortunately, as we all know, audiences love to be scared. Audiences actually found Dracula to be so terrifying that many audience members fainted and had to go to the emergency room during screenings of Dracula back in 1931. But that studio kicked off the rest of our monsters lineage, and we went on to make films like Frankenstein, The Wolfman, The Invisible Man, The Bride of Frankenstein. Well, we're going to pivot a little bit, everyone. We're actually going to take a visit to the beach. Now, this is the beach of Amity Island, but as you can see off to the right, you don't have anything to worry about. We've taken care of our little shark problem. But just to be extra cautious, our police diver George is sweeping the lagoon right now, making sure there's... Oh, well, I was about to say he's making sure it's shark-free, but it looks like there is definitely still a shark out there. Hey, George? George, if you can hear me, you got to swim to the boat, because that shark is headed right for you. George, what are you doing? Oh no, guys, I think it's too late for George. What a shame. He had so much guts to be out there in the lagoon today looking for sharks. Oh, there's his guts now. Okay, don't worry, everyone. We have a plan B. I put a barrel full of shark bait out in the lagoon to distract the shark. And I think all we can do now is just remain seated and hide behind these very flammable barrels of gasoline.
Mayroon kang lalabas, Papa. Kumabi ka. Kumabi ka, mayroon lalabas, maniwala ka.
Congratulations, everyone.
Ako, mayroon kang lalabas, Papa. Kumabi ka. Kumabi ka, mayroon lalabas, maniwala ka.
Well, I was about to say he's making sure it's shark-free, but it looks like there is definitely still a shark out there. Hey, George? George, if you can hear me, you gotta swim to the boat, because that shark is headed right for you. George, what are you doing? Oh no, guys, I think it's too late for George. What a shame. He had so much guts to be out there in the lagoon today looking for sharks. Oh, there's his guts now. Okay, don't worry, everyone. We have a plan B. I put a barrel full of shark bait out in the lagoon to distract the shark. And I think all we can do now is just remain seated and hide behind these very flamboyant backlot. Sometimes they can run into a little bit of a problem. And that's that we don't have a lot of weather. Many productions use weather as part of the story or as a way to set the mood for the scene. So if you're going to film here on the lot, you're usually going to have to create weather yourself. So we're showing you a few techniques how filmmakers create weather on a film set. Now we've got some strobe lights strategically hidden around our set here so that we can create lightning. Now if you take a look around the rooftops, you might be able to spot our high-tech rain distribution system. Those gray poles are called rain rigs on a film set, but you probably know them as sprinklers. Now we do angle our sprinklers a little bit. That's because we want our rain to fall at a little bit of an angle. Filmmakers have noticed that rain rarely falls straight down in nature, and we want our rain to look at, oh, looks like we've had too much rain, because there's a flash flood and it's heading straight for the train. are a fan of Lady Gaga, then you might recognize our flash flood from the music video for her song Judas. And she didn't use a stunt woman, she actually stood in that flash flood. Now, she also filmed the Judas video off to the left of the tram on our old Mexico sets. These sets also played the town of Pariah in HBO's Westworld. But speaking of the West, we're heading into the Old West. Welcome everyone to 6 Points. Now, when I said that these were the Old West, I mean emphasis on the old, because these sets are actually the oldest here on our lot. Many of them go back to the silent film era and are over 100 years old. Now, in that time, some very famous people have walked these streets, including my co-host, Jimmy.
This town ain't big enough for the both of us, Jimmy Fallon.
Well, I ain't going anywhere, Jimmy Fallon.
Now look here. Nice folks in this tram don't want no trouble. They just want to check out 6 Points, one of the oldest sets on the Universal lot.
I heard this is where John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart shot a few of their westerns.
That's right. That's where I aim to shoot you.
Looks like we got ourselves a Mexican standoff. Lucky shot.
Now what say you mount up and get out of town while the getting's good?
All right. Well, I'll see you again, pal.
Who you counting?
This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Talk it out, that's all.
Now, 6 Points was recently seen in Quentin Tarantino's latest film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That one starred Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt in his Oscar-winning performance. But as we leave 6 Points behind, we're actually going to head back up the hill and we're going to get one last look at our Amity Island and Jaws attraction. Like I said, our attraction is based off of Steven Spielberg's Jaws, and he actually had an active role in creating this attraction.
The Jaws ride was almost the inevitable result of the size of the box office when Jaws first opened in June of 1975. And that was really the first time I ever got involved in the creation of a ride. It was a great honor to be invited into a creative circle of tremendous designers at Universal that were trying to figure out how to replicate what the movie had done to audiences in a real way by building a physical shark that would come out of the water and terrify tourists as they were sitting in the tram. And the most amazing thing about the Jaws ride is it is exactly as it was from the time it was first placed on Universal lot. There have been tweaks, of course, over the years, but it is essentially what the designers and myself all envisioned and created. I'm done bashing the shark. Thank you, Jaws, for everything you've done for me. But I will say, consistently, the shark did work much better on the tour than it did in the Atlantic Ocean in 1974.
Distribution system. Those gray poles are called rain rigs on our film set, but you probably know them as sprinklers. Now, we do angle our sprinklers a little bit. That's because we want our rain to fall at a little bit of an angle. Filmmakers have noticed that rain rarely falls straight down in nature, and we want our rain to look at, oh, looks like we've had too much rain, because there's a flash flood, and it's heading straight for the tram. If you are a fan of the open door there, a practical set is a set that you can film both inside and outside of. Now this one is called the Chicken Ranch. It gets its name from the 1982 musical movie, The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, starring Dolly Parton. It's also famous for playing the House of a Thousand Corpses in Rob Zombie's horror classic. Now everyone, we are 15 minutes away from the end of the tour and we'll be returning to the theme park shortly. Just remember to pull the cord if you need assistance and remain seated at all times. We're heading up Steven Spielberg Drive right now, which is very appropriately named because he was inspired by our tour.
My career began with my relationship with Universal Studios just as a high school kid on a tour bus. Remember, in those days, there weren't trams, there were buses called the Gray Line Tour Bus. And I was so excited and thrilled to be on the lot. It was my first time ever on a movie studio lot. And during a bathroom break, I hid in the bathroom. When everybody left to get back on the bus, I waited another 15 minutes until I'm sure the bus left, and then I had the entire lot to myself that day. And in those days, movie lots were so crowded because all movies were made on film lots. Today they're made all over the world, on locations, but most of it was focused in those days, in the 60s, on the film lots. So nobody noticed me when I was going around from soundstage to soundstage, and I really felt, in my own young way, I owned the lot and had the most amazing day of my life.
Now, if you are a fan of Steven Spielberg, then you might be excited to see some of his picture cars from his most famous movies coming up off to the left of the tram. We have the Gyrosphere and the Jeep Wrangler here from Steven Spielberg's Jurassic World and Jurassic Park. Off to the right, we have a few more. We have the Ford Anglia that was owned by the Weasley family and Warner Brothers' Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Right next to that, we have the Mint Green Mini Cooper that was Mr. Bean's car in Mr. Bean's Holiday. And off to the left of the tram, we've got some robots in disguise. We've got the yellow Chevy Camaro that was Bumblebee in the Transformers franchise. But all of these cars are parked in the back parking lot of a very infamous motel. This place has 12 rooms and 12 vacancies, and I've heard you should stay out of the showers. This is the Bates Motel from Alfred Hitchcock's horror classic. Now, everyone, this film was actually released back in the 1960s, and honestly, this motel does not look like it has been touched since then. That's because this motel is the original set that was used in the filming of Alfred Hitchcock's classic thriller Psycho. But the set was actually not originally in this location. It was actually built inside of Soundstage 12, which is where they shot the scenes with the motel, and we actually transported it out to the back lot for the tour. Now, another set that was also built in a soundstage and moved outside was the Bates house, which we've got coming up here off to the right of the tram. Now, this was the home of Norman Bates and his beloved mother, who you can still see rocking back and forth in the second story. But as we leave Alfred Hitchcock and Psycho behind, we're now entering one of the largest physical sets ever created for any motion picture. This rivals the scope and the scale of the recreation of the Titanic. It is that large. This is the plane crash set from Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. Here's Steven Spielberg and production designer Rick Carter.
A set that was all designed around the vision of Spielberg.
You forget to sit down and talk about the world. I thought, what if the 747 goes on right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Listen to me. Listen now. Listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Stay on closed. Bobby, get in. Get in.
Now, we've been talking about legendary directors like Steven Spielberg and Alfred Hitchcock, but now we're going to talk about a legend in the making. I'm talking about Jordan Peele. And if you're a fan of his movies, then you are in luck, because we're about to see the real screen use sets from his latest film, Nope.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Plane, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky G. Puck. Over there, look into the Winter Well and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Show. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? Right. A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso Experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. Not looking so live. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy, Gold Rush frontier town, lies a sinister secret. It is smack dab in the center of the UFO hotspot. Welcome to the world of no.
Such a good job learning about how movies are made that I think you guys are ready to be in one. Congratulations, everyone. You have been cast in the latest installment of the Fast and the Furious franchise. Now, before you all can join the family, I'd like to remind you to remain seated during your entire experience. You'll be unable to exit the tram inside of Sullivan's garage to retrieve any dropped items, so make sure that you hold on tightly to all of your valuables. Now, the key to performing well on a scene is having a good setup, so I'm going to throw things over to one of the stars of Fast and Furious so we can find out what we are going to be filming today.
Roman Pierce. Pleased to meet you. Buddy Hobbs asked us to stash you in Shaw for a while. So we brought you in our secret spot.
Alright, look guys, we're gonna keep Shaw from finding you. But to keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the syndicate tracking us here. So put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones. One flash or one ringtone could give us away.
I need y'all to take this real serious.
Okay, pull into the next bay and we'll meet you in there.
Alright, I want to see everybody's best dance moves because the first scene that we are filming today is a little party scene.
Everybody out! The FBI! Turn that music off!
This is what we're doing. This is the race day after party. And where the other?
Roman Pierce, FBI, don't move.
Him?
That's right, party's over.
You know how long I took to iron this shirt, man? I'm not.
You're under arrest right now.
Ladies, just back up a little bit. Got it. Slightly. First of all, I don't work for you.
Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for?
We don't work for nobody. I suggest you clear out of here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety.
Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun.
Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours. Escort this novice out.
Let's go, Cookie Puss. You got an ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family will protect you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle of something.
See what I'm talking about?
Call you back. It was on vibrate.
Shaw traced us. Ops can't hold him forever. Letty, Roman, we're up. Driver, move that vehicle.
It's about to get real interesting. My Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door.
Roman, roll your truck. I need you and Lenny ready to roll.
Okay, everyone, go ahead and put on your 3D glasses. They are required by Wardrobe. Now, that was owned by the Weasley family and Warner Brothers Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Right next to that, we have the Mint Green Mini Cooper. That was Mr. Bean's car in Mr. Bean's Holiday. And off to the left of the tram, we've got some robots in disguise. We've got the yellow Chevy Camaro that was Bumblebee in the Transformers franchise. But all of these cars are parked in the back parking lot of a very infamous motel. This place has 12 rooms and 12 vacancies. And I've heard you should stay out of the showers. This is the Bates Motel from Alfred Hitchcock's horror classic. Now, everyone, this film was actually released back in the 1960s, and honestly, this was Spielberg's War of the Worlds. Here's Steven Spielberg and production designer Rick Carter.
Is perfect example of a set that is all designed around the vision. It's from that movie.
We said, again, to sit down and talk about the world. I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood?
Because it's just something you don't see. You're doing good. You're doing big. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to you. Close your eyes, okay? Stand close.
Good evening, Greg.